Hi guys! Welcome to my review of Pretty Little Liars episode 614, New Guys, New Lies. Now, I have to start this review at the end of the episode because really, I think it would be an injustice to not mention first the fact that Big Bad Uber whoever this person is who's in control of this entire situation is dressing up like an old man. Oh, that just killed me. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. The one thing that worries me a little bit is that the thing about Pretty Little Liars that I think people who don't watch the show wouldn't actually understand is that this show is actually genuinely very creepy. It can give you nightmares, not so much because anything massively violent happens on screen, but because I think it creeps into your life in that sort of way, like the way that kind of crept into the girls' lives and they couldn't escape it. If you binge on enough Pretty Little Liars, that can happen to you and the show can make its way into your dreams. So although I've hardly been sitting watching Pretty Little Liars for the past 6 seasons, like frightened out of my skin, I've always felt like you're sitting watching it going, right, this is genuinely really creepy. Like, see the episodes in the dollhouse? Like, that was genuinely so unbelievably creepy, and all the stuff that happened in Radley, a lot of stuff has happened over the seasons that have been very uncomfortable, and I don't know, I kind of wanted that to happen again, or I do want that to happen again. I want it to be like genuinely really like spine-tinglingly creepy, and they've got their big bad running about with an old man mask on, which I think my favourite moment was, alright, someone outside disagrees, traffic beeping. Anyway, I think one of my favourite moments in the whole episode was when Emily was sitting near Naria's house and then out the window there's just like this random creepy old man. Oh, it was so good. So I had to get that out of the way first because if I didn't, I would just sit and laugh through this review because I would just be thinking about that. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought about that, or actually, do you know what, just give us a thumbs up right now for dressing up like an old man, because when googled uniforms at the end of the last episode, I can tell you that's not what I had in mind. So we haven't really moved all that far forward in this episode in terms of figuring out who killed Charlotte and who Big Bad is. What we have had thrown into the mix is the possibility that Arya's dad is once again a shady character who's up to no good. Byron has always been one of these characters who every now and then is just like really suspicious and behaves in really suspicious ways. Mind that time in season 2 or 3, I forget when it was, when we thought that he was and we thought that he was going to kill Arya and who was it? It was Arya and Meredith? And like he just got like super aggressive all of a sudden and whatever. The fact that he's now potentially the person who killed Charlotte was a twist that I didn't see coming, but I really should have. I liked the very small cameo appearance from Ella, because Holly Marie Combs hasn't been in this season at all so far, and I want her to come back because I really like her and I like when she's in more episodes. Laura Layton, who plays Ashley, she was in more of this episode, which I liked because, as I've said before, I really like Ashley and I really like Ashley and Hannah's mother-daughter relationship. Poor Ashley must just be at the end of her tether now, but I am glad that Hannah confessed to her and admitted what she had done, because just getting lie piled on top of lie piled on top of lie has never served these girls well in the past. Then again, her mother has just gone and done exactly what she did and covered up the crime. Not that they are directly involved in the Charlotte murder per se, but she's gone and deleted the backup footage. That was another thing that I was wondering. We're jumping all over the place here, so bear with me, but when Hannah decided to go to the police, when she confessed to Jordan what she had done, and he was like, I still love you and I'd still want to marry you, don't worry about it, that's what I love about you, you're so loyal and supportive of your friends. So when she kind of confessed that to him and he was like, I'll get Dad's lawyer over here, and like clearly just showed how incredibly rich he is. And there was that really annoying line that I really didn't like, which I enjoyed the fact that Emily was like hashtag first world problems, when Hannah was like, oh, you just get so used to a private jet, you can't even, like, first class just seems like coach after that. And it's like, oh, who have you become? But anyway, when he got his lawyer over and Hannah was like, yeah, I erased the footage, and the lawyer was like, and I'm the only person you're going to tell that to. And then they went to the police. What was she going to tell them? Because she couldn't go to the police. If she wasn't going to tell them that she erased the footage, what was she going to tell them? I don't understand this. And it worked out quite well because Ashley had obviously just in time managed to erase the backup footage, so Lorenzo's standing there all like annoyed and they have to leave. But I still don't actually understand what she was going to tell them. Was she going to tell them that, was she going to like tail on, am I 5? Was she going to report Ezra? Was she going to say that Arya left the hotel room? What was she going to do? Because if she wasn't going to confess to erasing the footage, and this lawyer woman was like, you'll only get in trouble if they can prove it. And it's like, well, then evidently she wasn't going to confess that she'd done it. So what was she going to tell? Anyway, if anyone can figure that out, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise in this episode, Arya's just like lost the plot, it seems. I wonder if they saw how many people thought that Arya was involved in the first sort of 6 or first 5.5 seasons, I guess. And the writers just thought, hey, that's fun, let's just get involved with that. She's just lost all kind of grasp on reality, it seems, and is completely obsessing over Ezra. So we've got her breaking into his flat, using Emily to distract Sabrina, which was such a shame because, you know, a lot of people have pointed out, it's like, oh, the first female that Emily's bumped into in Rosewood, could that be her new love interest? Which maybe they're not going to do, I don't know, but I really liked that scene between Emily and Sabrina. It was nice to see Emily like looking happy. She's not looked happy ever since she got back to Rosewood, so sitting having that nice chat with her and kind of connecting with someone I thought was really nice. And then Arya had to go and ruin it by not only putting Emily in that horrible position in the first place of being like, distract her while I steal the key, and then interrupting when they're having a nice moment and being like, yeah, I need to speak to my friend, so if you could go, that would be great. She just has become completely and utterly obsessed. I guess one thing that I forgot is that something that has now been pointed to as the murder weapon is a number 9 iron golf club. I don't really know anything about golf. I don't even know if I said that right, to be perfectly honest. But there's a golf club that seems to be potentially the murder weapon. I thought someone broke her neck. So it seems that that the golf club was used, and the first question was like, so does Ezra play golf? Now Ezra, who we've never heard mention golf or seen play golf in his entire life, has his full set of golf clubs in his flat apparently, as Arya discovers when she breaks in, but much to her relief, the golf club in question, the number 9, is still there, so it's all good. She then pulls a Pam Fields, like Pam reading Emily's mail, and goes and listens to Ezra's voicemail messages, the first being from someone who I can't remember who they were, but they weren't important, and the second being from her dad. I just really like the idea. There was a comment later on, and I can't remember who it was that said it, but it was like, is Byron like hiding Ezra in his hotel room? And I just had this like hilarious vision of like Byron and Ezra like holed up in this hotel room together, like hiding out. It just seemed so utterly ridiculous. I wonder what's happened to Mike. He's not been mentioned at all so far. I just thought of him when I was talking about Byron. But yeah, I thought that was quite a hilarious image of just the two of them like holed up together, like conspiring. But of course that wasn't the case, they weren't they? But lo and behold, Arya manages to find the old spare set of keys to her dad's car, get into the boot and discover that his number 9 iron, whatever the thing is, the golf club in question is missing from Byron's set. So we are led to believe, after hearing a flashback of Arya listening to her mum and dad having a fight and Byron talking about the fact that Charlotte would walk free in Rosewood over his dead body kind of thing, and we are now being hinted that Byron has been a big part in Charlotte's murder. Although Byron was on the phone to Arya when creepy old man took his mask off in the back of the car, so I don't think it's him. I still just really want it to be Rain, but also that would be a travesty if they were covering up Julian Morris's face with a creepy plastic old man mask. Just saying. I think the main sort of chunk of the episode though, which I guess is no surprise, and I've been trying to kind of talk about everything else before I talk about this because I feel like it's just going to be like word vomit once I get started. But obviously the love quadrangle, as it is, was really the main kind of focus of this episode, and I'm getting annoyed now. If you've watched my reviews of the last couple of episodes, you will know that I am currently Team Spaleb, which I wouldn't have expected because I love Taleb, but I have become very firmly Team Spaleb for many reasons, which I will now try and list succinctly. Reason number 1, and the most basic reason of all, is that they do actually have a very nice chemistry together, and I like I've always liked the spark that has existed between Spencer and Caleb. It may not have started out as a romantic spark, but I think that it works really well, and I love seeing Toyin and Tyler in scenes together. So reason number one that I'm on board with this is because I actually think that it makes sense. I think that Caleb and Spencer both have this sort of like intellectual chemistry where you feel like they would have a lot of kind of like quite intelligent debates with each other, which I think is something that Spencer will really enjoy. And so I think from that point of view it makes sense, but I think that they've also got quite a strong friendship, which is a nice foundation for what is to kind of come after that. And so I think that the chemistry is great. But that's reason number one that I'm on board with this storyline. Reason number two that I'm currently Team Spaleb. This entire show has been built on the back of the fact that this is a group of friends who will do anything to protect each other, who, no matter what traumatic, terrible, frightening situation they go through at the hands of A, they always have each other's backs, they're always there for each other, they're always supporting each other. As far as I'm concerned, that is the kind of like central thing in Pretty Little Liars that holds all of the characters together, is the strong friendship that exists between these four girls, but then as they've kind of like grown throughout the seasons, the people that they've surrounded themselves with. So Caleb's friendship with the girls, Toby's friendship with the girls, Caleb and Toby's friendship with each other. I feel that that is a very important underlying foundation for this show. So I don't believe for a minute that Caleb and Spencer would go there if they both still had feelings for their exes. If Caleb was secretly genuinely pining after Hannah and Spencer was secretly genuinely pining after Toby, I don't think that they would just fall into bed with each other to solve that problem. And I know that they've been away from Rosewood for a while, so it's one of these things where it's like, oh, old feelings are resurfacing, and Spencer said something to Toby about, oh, why is it so easy to fall back into old habits? And it's like, no, because I will tell you why. They didn't split up because there was some terrible reason that meant that they couldn't be together anymore. They didn't split up. Spencer and Toby split up because she wanted to move to DC, he wanted to stay in Rosewood. They drifted apart, they realised that they didn't want the same thing or want to be in the same place anymore, so they split. From what I understand, Hannah and Caleb were in a similar situation. They moved to New York together. She was studying and then got this job as an intern in the fashion industry, got the opportunity to travel the globe, went off to Europe and kind of left him behind. They weren't torn apart by some unstoppable force that meant that there was no choice that they had to split up. They split up because they decided that they didn't want to be together anymore. Now, if they did that and then they realised that it was a mistake and that actually secretly they still really did love the other person, they wouldn't get together with each other. I know that I'm ranting and rambling, and I know that there's other factors at play here, like the fact that Hannah's engaged to someone else and Toby's about to get engaged to somebody else. But neither of them came back to Rosewood hoping to find that Hannah and Toby were waiting for them with open arms. They came back for, Spencer came back for her mother's campaign and because Alison asked her to. And Caleb came to support Spencer. They didn't turn up there with the intention of trying to get back together with their exes. So all of these moments where it's like, they're just, they're doing my head in. Because what they should be doing here is either having, Emma and I have ranted about this a lot over the past day or so, but they either have to just be like, right, do you know what? Isn't this lovely? Spencer and Caleb have fallen in love and they've got together, and it's a little bit awkward at the moment because everyone's just finding their feet with this new situation. And yeah, of course it's going to be an adjustment for everyone to get used to seeing them together as a couple rather than just as friends, but they mean so much to each other that they are willing to risk jeopardising such crucial, important friendships in their lives. That is how strongly they believe that this is the right thing to do. Or it shouldn't have happened. And I know that I'm repeating myself because I've talked about this before, but this is how I feel, because what they are doing instead is they're having the scenes between Spencer and Caleb really lovely and very promising and full of kind of like anticipation of this new romance and this new situation, and realising that they have this chemistry and these feelings for each other and how supportive they've been of each other over the years and wanting to develop that more. And then the minute that either of the other exes is in the scene, it's like, oh, sad wistful gazes off to the side. Oh, isn't it so weird being around each other now? And oh, Toby constantly being like, would you like maybe leave Rosewood like now? I mean, you're not going to stay here forever, are you? Like, maybe you could leave now because it would make life so much easier for me if you could just go away. It's the least subtle hints that he's not over Spencer ever. Obviously, he was gutted when Caleb confessed that the person that he was cooking for was Spencer. And you kind of expected Toby to look sad about that, and that that made sense and that was fine. But it was the fact that he was like, it's simple, if you two want to be together, you should be together. And then like walked off in the huff and then met Spencer and was like, oh, so it's really hard for me to be friends with you when you're here. My life would be a lot easier for me in my relationship if you would kindly just leave Rosewood and go back to Washington. So, just the way they're doing it's annoying me, and I'm upset because it had such potential to be nice. It's such potential to be a nice storyline, and instead it's just confusing, and I don't know what they want us to think that the characters are thinking, because yes, okay, it's going to be, you know, one of these weird times when you see someone who you loved and who you haven't seen for a while, and they're kind of navigating that in these new relationships, but they can't have it both ways. They can't have it that Caleb and Spencer genuinely want to be together, but they also genuinely want to be with Hannah and Toby. They can't. They just have to pick. They have to pick. Okay. Right, I'm going to be quiet now because I feel like there's lots more that I could say about that, but I'll just continually repeat myself and get in a state. I quite like the opening scene with them waking up together, because I think that it's nice, and I think that it's time for a change, and that's something that Tyler Blackburn tweeted about actually. He said something that I thought was very nicely phrased, and it was clearly pointed at all the Halo fans who are abusing Marlene King at the moment for this storyline, which is just nonsense. But he said something along the lines of, embracing change doesn't mean letting go of love or erasing the past, or something like that. And I was like, that's lovely. That's a very nice way of putting that. And that is exactly what we should be looking at this situation as. But it's impossible to do because they're walking on eggshells and sending mixed messages, and I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. And I don't like that, because I like knowing where to stand with my characters. So yeah, it's... that storyline's gone from being something that I really enjoy, and hopefully I'm still going to enjoy. I think how I'm kind of holding on to the Spaleb scenes is that there's like a time limit on this, like there's an expiration date on Spaleb, I feel already, and so I'm just going to enjoy the scenes with them together up until they inevitably get split up. Here I go, I can't stop myself, it seems. There's so many other ways that they could have done this, because couldn't they, I said this to Emma earlier on, couldn't they have had Spencer come back to Rosewood in a relationship with some fancy pants, suave politician guy in DC, and come back to Rosewood and be like, in this relationship, but you can tell she's not really like fully in it, but she doesn't want to commit to going back to Toby because A, he's with someone else, but B, he's in Rosewood and she doesn't want to come back to Rosewood, and have some sort of friction there with that. And have Caleb either single but, you know, not wanting to settle down right now, and Hannah in a place that she desperately wants to get married, or that he's dating someone else as well. There were so many ways that they could have complications, and they could split up, you know, Spobey and Caleb, they're, you know, endgame people, split them up, and then have, there's so many other complications that they could have put in here to then sort of bring them back together, instead of just ending up with poor Spencer and Caleb getting all this hate, which is so unnecessary. And I'm done now, I promise. Toby's fiancée seems nice. She seems like Spencer. Just exactly like Spencer, which I think says a lot. I did find it very odd how kind of enthusiastic Yvonne was to be meeting Spencer. I mean, I guess that then suggests that Toby has made it very clear that he's completely and utterly over Spencer to Yvonne, which clearly is not the case, since he can't wait to get rid of her. They're apparently going to be getting married. I loved how the file that she got on Yvonne's family knew when Toby was planning to propose to Yvonne over a family lunch. But yeah, this week's line of the episode has to go to Spencer for when she had deleted the text from A. I'm just going to keep calling him A, but the text from A that said, oh, she's better than you, Toby's clearly never going to put a ring on your finger. And she deleted it and expected pro-hacker Caleb, her new apparent love interest, to not be able to find that when he started investigating. Then, when they were in the car together and having their little chat, and he's like, you know, I just want to know why you deleted it, like, what was that all about? Kind of trying to fish for whether or not she regretted what was going on between them. And her response was, I just didn't want to make this complicated. Spencer, have you realised what situation you're in? You are dating your best friend's ex-boyfriend who is best friends with your ex-boyfriend. It couldn't get any more complicated. Okay, I'm in a bit of a funny mood. I've had a very, very long, monotonous day at work today, and I think that my brain's just like, I'm just spouting word vomit at you. So I'm just going to leave it there, I think. Did anything else important happen? There was, again, no Alison, no Mona, no Jason in this episode. I want all three of these people to return as quickly as possible. And I want to know what you thought of the episode. Let me know in the comments down below how you felt about the creepy old man, how you're feeling about the love quadrangle, the Spoby and Caleb and all that stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you are very like pro Spoby, pro Caleb, pro whoever, I like them all. The thing is, I actually like all of the couples together. I'm just annoyed at how they're doing it now because it's making me annoyed with all of the pairings because they're just not making any consistent sense. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that you're having a great week and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye! I don't feel like they would have been kind of quite as deep and meaningful as this, and so I thought that that was a really nice way of showing us how close they now are, that she would come home and completely open up to him about